Dear Karim. I'd like to refute your last Dear Mark video, which I immensely appreciated, as it was touching and hilarious in true Karim fashion, where your big philosophical enlightened life purpose conclusion, in fervent rebuttal to my "we suck," was sometimes we help people and make them smile, so let's do more of that. Though I concede you may be onto something. I've been meaning to reply to you since the 1st of March 2013, that's almost 2 years ago, 700 days ago. So if I can't even find the time to make a stupid 3-minute video about nothing, it does not bode well for my not sucking. Indeed, I have the sinking feeling Anisu de Vos is right, as he so eloquently put it. You still suck. So yes, we've both realized that any change we want to do in the world has to start with work that we do on ourselves, and I salute you for doing quite a bit of that. But my question is, when does it stop? When do we reach the point when we know who we are, when we're at least comfortable with our own identities, so that we can boldly go out in the world and create effective change? But who are we kidding? We've got 2 years to catch up on, so let me fill you in. What's happened with me since our last video? Well, obviously the big news is that Gerard and I have been traveling the world. As some of the 10 people who are watching this video might already know, she is doing a European Masters in System Dynamics, which takes her 1 semester each in Bergen, Norway, Lisbon, Portugal, and Nijmegen, Netherlands. And since I'm a freelance translator, I just get to follow her around. To be honest, we really enjoyed living all 3 cities. They each have something particular and special. Bergen is right at the entrance of the fjords, and we're surrounded by mountains and oceans and nature. Lisbon is a severely underrated European capital. It was great to live right in the middle of Alfama, the old village, and feel like we were part of the neighborhood after a while. And even Nijmegen was surprisingly livable. We lived right in downtown next to our organic grocers and organic butcher, and we could really see ourselves living here for a while. In 1 week, we're heading back to Norway for Gerard's last semester, and we'll be there until July or August. From a materialistic point of view, I bought 2 telephones, a beautiful, lightweight, dual-SIM Alcatel One Touch, and the slightly larger, coveted OnePlus One. In my desperate hipster-like desire to be nonconformist, I just wanted something that was not Apple or Samsung. So now I have 2 phones. Gerard still has her old Nokia, but she doesn't want a smartphone, so. Oh yeah, my beloved Socho dropped my camera in seawater, so I tried to repair it, but I broke it some more. Eventually, I just bought the next model up, the Canon S120, which is probably one of the best point-and-shoot cameras you can get on the market today. And incidentally, it costs less than the lens I'm using to shoot this video. I can't believe how expensive lenses are. In Lisbon, I bought a van. Good old Rex. A Mitsubishi L300, just like the one I had in Australia. And luckily, you even came along and we enjoyed a little road trip through Andalusia. That was nice. However, shortly afterwards, I was forced to sell it since it was basically dead. And yes, I know that it had 490,000 kilometers on it, but like, what's a few more, right? You win some, you lose some. On the other hand, these $20 USB heated gloves from usbgeek.com are a godsend. What else has happened in 2014? We went to Egypt together in November, that was pretty cool. I attended 2 polyglot events, gathering in Berlin and a conference in Novi Sad, Serbia, where I met many interesting and inspiring people. But what's really happened in the last year is that everyone I know is getting married and having babies. I don't know how, why, or where, but this article I posted on my Facebook entitled, "Report Everyone Starting New Exciting Stage of Life Except You," rings uncomfortably close to home. In Berlin, an Italian held a talk called How to Focus, which particularly struck me. He just had a lot of simple, down-to-earth methods for focusing and managing your time and accomplishing your goals. Which brings me to my goals for 2015. I want to do certain things every day. Eat healthy, exercise, go to bed, and wake up early. I've drawn up this accountability chart, right? Where you can see my objectives here and then the days of the week here. And so I can keep track of, which days I'm meeting my daily objective. Currently, I'm not meeting them every day, but running, for example, is something that I just started last year. I started in Lisbon, and ever since September, I'm trying to do it regularly, about twice a week. I'm starting to get a little routine. I'm motivated from the app that tracks my path, and I can listen to some podcasts while I run. Or the 7-minute workout, which is probably my favorite app on the iPad right now. I mean, it's just 7 minutes, right? So it's hard to argue that I didn't have time for it. I'm also into 15 days of my Add One challenge, trying to learn as much Norwegian as possible in 90 days. But in general, as a freelancer, I just want to try and focus more on the work-life balance, right? I don't want to drown in work like I did last fall. But here's the big one. I'm gonna film one Dear Karim video per month.
I'm gonna film one Dear Karim video per month.
Yes, I know the Vlogbrothers do it every 2 days, but I'm competing against myself here. There are many topics I want to discuss, like languages and translation and polyglottery. There's a lot I want to say about German, particularly your valiant attempt at trying to read it, which remains one of the highlights of 2014.
Ich dachte, ich war der ein Panther. Ihr Tagesablauf war ziemlich eintönig. Sie im Fallpantoffel herum. Gerrit Servus. Oder aber sie sprang hinaus und strebte in seiner Nähe um. And all the Germans are losing their shit. Even Rob's cracking up, just by association. He doesn't even know what the fuck's going on.
Gerrit thinks I tease you too much. I don't think I tease you too much. Do you think I tease you too much? As I'm sure Oscar Wilde once said, teasing is the highest form of brotherly affection. An article in the Globe and Mail quotes a philosophy professor, William Irvine. Affectionate teasing is a wonderful way to relieve the tensions that build in a long-term relationship. Mocking each other's habits, preferences, mannerisms, or speech patterns is a reprieve from direct confrontation. The same insults that can, under some circumstances, weaken or even destroy a relationship, can, under other circumstances, preserve or strengthen that relationship. Having said that, however, if I ever truly do cause you frustration and discomfort, or say, to the point where you can't imagine hypothetically living in the same house with me anymore, oh, wait. I also want to talk about such profound topics such as the trials and tribulations of having long hair. Really, this is really just an exercise in personal accountability. It's part of a larger objective of sucking less. May 2015 be the year of less sucking. Brother, let me finish on this note from a TED Talk on love I listened to recently while running. There may be no relationship that's closer, finer, harder, sweeter, happier, sadder, more filled with joy or fraught with woe than the relationship we have with our brothers and sisters. Your parents come along at the beginning of your life and then leave it too early. Your spouse and your children come along much later in your life, and in our case, who knows. But your siblings are the only people who are with you for the whole ride, potentially from cradle to grave, and in the most formative part of your life. We're clay when we first meet our siblings. We're pretty much set and kiln-fired by the time we meet our spouse and other friends. But our siblings shape us. We learn from our siblings. We learn about mentoring. We learn about honesty, caring, confidence. We learn about loyalty, keeping confidence. We learn about conflict avoidance, gentleness, caring, empathy, and love. So, dear Karim, I will see you in February.